Howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. So, random thought concerning a lot of the use of language in today's political hot topic discourse. Okay? What is the difference between someone that disagrees with anyone's life choices and them being a phobe or otherwise bigoted against that person? I'm not necessarily gonna get into all of it personally, but there are people that I know, that I care about, and that I love, that make decisions that I disagree with, and that if they were mine to make, or as an example, my oldest daughter, she's made several decisions over the past 2 years that if she just came to me and said, "Hey Dad, I'm thinking about these 5 things, but I want to do what you want me to do. Should I do this or not?" And I would have suggested making different decisions than the ones that she has made in the past 2-3 years. And this is someone that I care about. I want what's best for her. I want her to live a happier life than I've lived. I want her to live a more fulfilled life than I've lived. I want her to live a better life than I've lived. And not just as far as being a good person, but having it easier than I've had, trying to help her learn from the mistakes that I made, and staying out of the pitfalls that I've fallen into. But what's the difference in disagreeing with someone and being a phobe or bigoted or hating them? I think that there's a huge difference, especially if it's coming from a place of care, compassion, love, or just attempting to help people be better. But in the way that language is used in our modern discourse, there's not a difference. I'll give you a case in point example of that in conversations that I have had and in conversations that I've observed personally. Okay? Someone that I went to high school with, we weren't in the same class, but we were in the same school. I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, came out as trans. Okay? Now, for starters, I've dealt with my own minor mental health issues, be it anxiety or stress or a little bit of depression, whatever. I can't imagine what it's like, looking in the mirror and feeling like I just don't belong. I shouldn't look like this. I don't belong in the body that I'm in. I can't imagine how stressful and depressing that could be. Don't pretend to. And anybody that's dealing with, any sort of dysmorphia, whether it's I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, whatever, I feel sorry for them. I've seen people and known them better where, I wish I could lose this weight and keep it off, and, that's a struggle, and that can weigh on you a lot mentally. So I've seen that kind of up close and personal, but I can't imagine, dealing with the issue of transgenderism. Totally, I'm going to tie this back in, but I could say something. I could say to that person that I went to high school with, you know, I hope that you get adequate treatment to live a long, happy, healthy, fulfilled life. I hope that the mental angst that your gender dysphoria or transgenderism is causing you doesn't cause you long-term problems. I hope that it's something that you're able to get help for. And I hope that it's not something that puts you into the factual I want to say the number is like 42 or 44% lifetime attempted suicide rate for trans identifying individuals. I hope that that's not you. I hope you're not that sad statistic. I can say all those things. And then I can say, however, I do not think that pursuing any sort of hormone therapy, gender transition, or surgical intervention in this is what is best for you, just based on the available data, regardless of what you want to attribute the suicide attempt rate to or whatever, whether it's society, whether it's a mental health issue, whether it's the way that they're treated, whatever. Whether it's a drama concerning or that comes with the transgender debate. Hang on, I'm about to blow this guy's doors off. The speed limit was 55. But you know, I can say that I really want what's best for you, but I don't think that hormone treatment and surgical intervention is the best thing 5-10 years down the road. And there are a lot of people that do have quote-unquote buyer's remorse around gender transition surgery. I can say all those things, but I can still be labeled as a transphobe. It's not the way that works. I genuinely want what's best for this person. I don't want them to fall into the typical mortality rates surrounding transgender identity, much less the suicide rates surrounding transgenderism. But I tell them that I disagree with their decision to pursue modern transgender medicine, and I'm a bigot? No, that's not the way that works. I wish that more people were willing to listen to intent in the language of what's said and not assume intent based on the fact that someone dares to disagree with them. I'm disagreed with a lot. I have an ex-wife, and her and I see things a lot differently concerning morality, life's decisions, the kids, whatever. I have a mother who's very involved in my life, and her and I disagree on things. Disagreement isn't hate. Disagreement isn't bigotry. I just wish more people would be willing to draw that line about disagreeing versus hating more carefully. Anyway, I guess that's what I got on this one, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Stay safe. Stay sane. have a conversation with someone that disagrees with you. There's a guy I used to work with back when I was on night shift at my job. Ooh, a Ford Ranchero about us. Ooh, that's slick. Sorry. There's a guy I used to work with back when I was working a night shift job. We still work for the same company, just on different shifts. He and I probably disagree. Well, at least we used to. He's moved to the right of the political spectrum some, but he and I used to disagree on essentially everything. But we had some of the best conversations, and none of it was raised voices. None of it was, well, you're a hateful bigot, well, you're a this or that. You know, hey, I'm pro Second Amendment, I'm not a big fan of firearms. Okay, well, let's have that chat. And at the end of the day, no one accused the other one of not caring about the victims of shooting events or wanting to confiscate all the firearms out of the hands of legal gun owners or anything like that. We came away with better understanding of where the other person stood on those issues, and we, due to the fact that we were able to disagree respectfully, it actually had two major takeaways, at least for me, since he wasn't just going the straight, we need to ban all the guns, grab all the guns, this and that. It gave me an understanding of where he specifically came from, or how he viewed the solution to the problem. And it also gave me the opportunity to have a different argument than the ones that you typically have on the internet or typically see on TV. And, same goes for him, because I never accused him of things that he didn't explicitly say. Like, I might ask questions, but I never, oh, well, you just want to do this. So I became more informed and better at discussing that topic for the benefit of it. Now, there are certain people that I'll admit I cannot have political discussions with. They get too moody's the right word. They get too moody about it, or start making assumptions, and at that point, hey, you're my buddy, but we can't talk about, politics or guns or whatever. So we'll just have other discussions, and that's fine. But find that person that you disagree with politically that you can have those chats with. You might just learn something. And if nothing else, you'll learn that just because someone disagrees with you doesn't necessarily mean that they're hateful, or all the stereotypes that everybody has rattling around in their mind about those that disagree with them on these issues. That's what I got on this one, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.